Hey guys, Kyoryu here with another review. This time I'll be reviewing the Deino Chaser and Kyoryu Red set from Juden Sentai Kyoryu. This is a special figure set for the Kyoryu's bike, the Deino Chaser, which is the combination of two small Judenryu. So this set includes a few things. The two Judenryu in question, their Judenshi, a Kyoryu Red figure, and miniature versions of the Gaba Revolver and Gaba Caliber. So, we'll start off by looking at the Judenshi first and knocking down those two, but standing it up just as easily. So, it's number 11, in a yellow color, with a symbol right there, and the glow-in-the-dark side here with the dinosaur. Name on the back, Deino Chaser. And flipping around, we have a yellow Deinochaser, which was a raptor-like dinosaur, known for its unique kind of sickle toe on each foot. And so you can see, right there, with some yellow claws, gray claws, gray feet, and then you actually see one of the sickle toes right there in orange. So the two Judenryu that make the Deino Chaser are Dinos and Chase. Hence Deino Chaser. So looking at Dinos, it's a yellow Deinochaser that kind of matches up with the one on the Judenshi. Got the head here with some gray detailing, red eyes. Jaw can open and close. You have little gray arms here which move a little bit. And this little detailing which is going to be the engine block for the bike. Got the legs here with the aforementioned sickle toes. And the front wheel in between them. Since this makes the front wheel, we also have the handlebars here, as well as the tail. Getting to Chase, he has a different body structure, being more hunched over, and being a black Deinochaser. So different detailing on the head, though still red eyes. Jaw can open, though to a wider degree. The claws are in black and don't move at all. You got the front, the hind legs, the haunches, and then the tail, as well as the feet, which also have the sickle toes. And this one has the back wheel. Getting to the Kyoryu Red figure, it's a little bit small and not too special. Starting from the top, we have the head, which has the Kyoryu style of visor, where the visor is the dinosaur's mouth, and as you can see, there are yellow jagged teeth all around it. Got a couple of little green eyes, some nostrils here on the forehead, and the silver mouth plate. Getting down to the chest, we have this sash across, which looks like dino teeth. Then this one shoulder pad here on the left shoulder, which has a little red eye, and then the Gaba symbol right here. And when you combine the shoulder pad with the sash, that makes the Kyoryu symbol. It's supposed to continue on to the back, and while it doesn't detail, it isn't painted in on the back. The arms, which have a scale pattern, though it's supposed to be a little bit darker so it can stand out. The gloves are a nice simple white color, with a plate on the back of the hands, which is also supposed to be silver, but here again not colored in. Have the Junmo buckle, just all in silver. Legs are pretty standard, mostly red except for the silver cuffs here. And there are also silver cuffs on the gloves. Articulation is pretty simple. The right arm at least goes 360 while the left arm is blocked by the shoulder pad. Arms going in and out. No elbow articulation, though rotates at the cuff. no waist movement. Legs go forward, not back. In and out to some degree. Single joint at the knee. And rotation at the boot cuff. We also have the Gaba Revolver and Gaba Caliber, which are well detailed and small, though they're just in black plastic with no paint. And I can imagine it would be rather hard to paint in the details at such a small scale. But either one can fit into either of Kyoryu Red's hands just by slipping it in like so. So like that. And while it works out for the Gaba Caliber, not so much for the Gaba Revolver, because since it has no elbow articulation, you kind of have to have it at this weird angle in order for him to point his gun straight. But I'm thinking most people are probably going to pose him on the bike. And before we get to the actual bike, I'll go over the Judenchi's functions in the Gaba Revolver and Kyoryu. And also for some reason, like, the legs aren't quite balanced on Deino's here, and I also think just because of the strange stance, he falls over a bit. But if left alone, he won't fall over at all. So in the Gaba Revolver, it's a little bit unique, interesting. So lowering it into the bomb slot and closing down. Now normally, with this in, you would spin the chamber and you would start the transformation. Not the case here. With this one, you actually pull a trigger. And so you have a dinosaur roar and then a bike revving. So that's actually something to mimic the show, wherein they stick in the Judenchi and then fire it to summon Dinos and Chase, who then combine into the Deino Chaser. In fact, if I bring in another one, like Zagutor here, put it in the top slot. It actually only reads the Deino Chaser, and that overrides any other berries put in. And it, of course, because this is in the top slot, it doesn't read it at all. So then bring in Kyoryu. And take this out and put in the Deino Chaser Judenchi. So we get its sound effect, Burururun, which is like the Japanese version to Vroom Vroom, a motorcycle revving. And so it's the same sound effect as when you fire it while in the Gaba Revolver, a dinosaur roaring, then bike revving. So now we can get to the combination. So to repair each of them is pretty simple. For dinos, you push in the claws, open up the mouth, flip around the body and then flip around the tail. Then for these legs, you would take them like this and then fold them in like so. Do the same with the other one. And these don't lock into place, these just rest here. Then for Chase, take this section on the tail and flip it over to become the seat. Then open up the jaw all the way and fold up these sections for footrests. Then fold up the legs all the way back. Now to combine them, you take the front end and stick it into Deinochaser's mouth. And with the back end, you have to line up the mouth as well as this notch and this this tab. Tab or peg, but you just kind of secure them all into place at the same time and then close up the lower jaw like that. And so there you have the Deino Chaser. It's a pretty cool design. And yeah, you can definitely see how it, though it has yellow in the front and black in the back, the design kind of does flow into each other. And it is pretty cool how you have this combination by having two different Kyoryu bite on the same battery. You can still roll it around. And if you want, you can take one or both of Chase's legs and then fold them down to act as a pseudo kickstand. And of course, you can also have the figure here riding it. Although before that, I also want to make one note about, well, simply about the scale. It's small and a little scrawny looking, and it's not exactly in scale with other typical figures. For example, here's the WAP Wizard Flame Cell. As you can see, it's about a head shorter. So this doesn't really fit in scale with any other figures. At least not with most Japanese figures. As I don't quite think it's at the 4 or 4 3/4 inch scale. So you can just maneuver the arms. Put it down on there. Have it grasp the handlebars. Like so, and then, although you could have him resting his feet on the footrests, that would kind of not have him sitting down on the bike. So for me, I like to maneuver him into place, and then maneuver the feet so that they're kind of resting next to the footrests rather than on them. So there you have him riding it. And you'll kind of notice that it's not quite in scale. His feet don't even touch the ground, so it looks a little bit small on the bike. While that's a downside for the toy on its own, what Kenny said as kind of a positive is that this means this is likely to be in scale, at least somewhat, when the eventual Kyoryu SH figure arts figures come out. So that's one reason to get this, besides the Judenchi itself. And of course, you can still roll it around with Kyoryu Red on it. And though this figure only includes Kyoryu Red, this is the bike for all 5 Kyoryus, meaning that there are 5 Deinos and 5 Chases, just because they're actually individual members of two rival tribes. So in the end, it's a nice toy, certainly. Though the figure is small and scrawny, as I said, at the very least, it does seem like the bike itself will be in scale with the later and eventual SHFs. Although I don't really recommend buying 5 of these, because even if you'll get 5 of the bike, that also means you'll get 5 of the Kyoryu Red figure. And if you're getting these for the SHFs, then that means you'll have 5 of the same figure with not much to do with it. And as far as the Judenchi goes, I'd say if you're buying this for the Judenchi, only get this if you have Kyoryu, because it's not really worth it for using in the Gaba Revolver. Even though it's accurate, it still doesn't give you a special attack sound there. And if the bike doesn't appeal to you, then just wait until the Deino Chaser battery is released on its own, and then get that. So for what it's worth, it's a fun toy. Though the figure isn't all that great, the rest of the toy definitely makes up for it in design and in functionality. So certainly fun and recommended, but rather under certain circumstances. So, thanks for watching. Please rate, comment, subscribe, and check my channel for more videos. And for now, this is Kyoryu, writing off.